Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, so I'm with my dad, David.
Hi. We used to look alike, but I'm getting older.
There are photos to where we do look alike. So here we are, Whisper of Love at home with David, and I am at my dad's home. All right, so Dad, what was it like living with Mom? What? Talk about Mom.
Talk about Mom. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Okay.
How did your relationship? How did you meet Mom?
How did I meet her?
Yeah.
Through a friend of mine named Don.
Okay. You know what the same is. Just say friend.
A friend of mine.
Okay. So a friend, and this is actually a lifelong friend. Okay. But how'd you meet? Like what was the meeting? Do you remember?
About 5 hours to think about this. No, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
But I will remember, but
Like,
not
did
right
you
now.
meet at work? Did you meet at a club? Did you meet at a restaurant?
I think we picked her up at work when she got off.
Okay. And
yeah, we did.
Cause
Because he worked with her at the same company.
so he was friends with Mom, and he introduced the two of you.
They worked together, and he knew I was looking for a lady. A lady.
You were looking
Yeah.
for a lady.
Right, so he introduced me.
Which reminds me of one of Mom's favorite songs.
He knew
Lady.
she was single. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Hello.
Hi.
Have a seat because
Well, wait,
Right
no,
here.
wait.
Okay.
Mitos doesn't want to be on camera.
this
but
is me, but this is my wife, Milos. Turn around.
Say hi
look
to
at
the camera.
Milos,
Oh my
say hi to
God,
the
sorry.
camera.
Oh,
No, that's
sorry.
It's okay, she wasn't on
Come
the
on
camera.
I'm doing the.
got her back.
Oh, that I didn't know.
All right.
That's all right.
So,
That's okay. Thanks for the coffee.
That was my dad's wife. This is bringing him coffee. So you and Mom met, and then did you ask her on a date after? What was the next? Like, did you go to the movies the next time? Do you remember? Like, how long was it before you had the first kiss with Mom?
All I can remember is I took her home to Mom and introduced her to my mother. And my mother told her to cook me a good meal and I would never come home. So she made me a good dinner and I stayed there that day and I never came home.
Wait, you introduced Mom to Grandma like the same day you met her, or no?
I'm not sure. Hello, Carl. We're on camera now. If you want to come up here and introduce yourself, go ahead.
All right, so Mom cooked you a dinner, and then you just moved right in to her apartment. Where'd she live in?
She lived
Say where, but like an apartment
yeah, apartment.
on her own.
Yeah, her and her cat, Zorba.
Huh. Zorba. Mom used to talk about Zorba.
Her and her cat. Yeah.
Okay, so how long then did you get married before Mom got pregnant, or after?
Before.
And okay, so you were living together and you got. So, how'd you ask Mom? What did you ask Mom, or was it just a?
Ask her what?
Will you marry me? How did that?
I think I just hit her over with a hammer. The preacher was there, and she woke up.
No,
married.
seriously.
Well, of course, I asked her to marry me. Yeah.
But what was that night like? Like, was it dinner, or did
Oh,
you
no.
just say, "Hey, let's get married"?
You know,
Like,
everything's always good till you get the piece of paper, then it goes downhill. So everything was fine, you know.
and you got married
Yeah,
just
everything was fine.
in the court.
Yeah, we fought every day. Every day was an argument.
Okay, so what did fights look like?
No
Talk
fights.
about the time with the car and
The car.
when
You mean many cars?
well, when I was in the car and I got the
You
bump
were
on
in
my
the car.
head.
That was a truck. No, I was in the truck. You were in the car. Yeah.
Okay.
I had many cars. I probably had 6 vehicles. And you happened to be in one of my cars that Mom was driving you in. And you were how old? I don't know how old
I was
you
a
were.
baby.
6 months?
Okay.
You were, we'll say 6 months old. Maybe
Okay.
8, maybe a year. I don't remember.
Okay.
Okay. And me and Mom had a fight. And you could not argue with your mother because you can't settle an argument. She would just sit there and nag you. So I got in my truck and I left. Okay, that's the cop out to get away from an argument you can't settle. So you don't get madder and madder and start swinging.
Right.
So I got in my truck and I left. She gets in the car and chases me. So I'm a good driver. I drove motorcycles and race cars. So I get to the corner and I try to get away from her because she's a mean one. She's mean when she's mad. I don't want no problem. So I leave and I take off. Okay, and there ain't nowhere for me to go but in circles, spin around corners. She's still at it. Cops ain't nowhere to give us a ticket. I don't know why, but we made it doing all that stupid stuff. So I headed over to my mom's house, which might have been where I lived with her. And then when we had fights, I'd move in with my mom, back and forth. So I head to my mom's house. She chases me there. She carries you into the house and you got a lump on your head. My mom says to her, where did he get the lump from? Dave hit him. So I'm walking past her as she's saying this. And everybody thinks I hit you, which I didn't hit you. You must have fell on the floor when she was chasing me. It's the only thing I can think of. I know she didn't hit you. She might have pinched you, but she didn't hit you.
Not then, but
Yeah, right. But anyway, so when she said that, then my grandmother there, and Don might have been there. I think Don was there, my friend, and my grandmother, my mother, and maybe my sister. I don't remember. A lot of people were there when she said that.
Wait, I gotta stop you. When you say mom might have pinched me, are you saying that, like being 6 months old, mom might have pinched me then? Or
Well, no,
being a
no.
year old?
No, I was just
Okay.
because she did that later on in life.
Right.
When
And
we were
she
in
hit
a
me.
restaurant. We were in a restaurant.
Okay. But
But
go on.
anyway, I got so mad. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. I got so mad when she had lied and blaming me for a lump on your head, which I would have never did. No way. So if I would have hit her, not you. So I got so mad. My blood pressure must have steamed out the top of my head. I walked past the little love chair she was sitting on the end. You were being held by grandma or grandma when I walked past her. And I turned around without her knowing it, and I hit her right in the nose
Without her knowing?
without her knowing. And I just looked at her right then and there and says, I didn't hit him, but I hit you. And I had nothing to lie about. Everybody see me hit you.
Right.
So I didn't lie about the lump on your head. So I let them know. And then she realized lying does not pay off, okay? Now what's your next question, sir? That's the truth.
No, now talk about, you've talked about this before. Talk about, I remember you talking about an argument you and mom had to where mom like threw dishes at you or
Oh,
when you
yeah,
came
that's a-
home and
that's a good
tripped over the,
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. When she got mad, she got mad. When I got mad, I got mad. So that's life. But our tempers got a little bit out of hand. A little bit more than normal. We both worked, we both had jobs, so we had money to throw at each other.
mom came from a hard life.
Yeah, and I came
Right.
from a hard life. And you have a hard life. So
Right.
the world's
Life's,
hard.
right,
Life
life
is
is
hard.
hard.
Life is not easy.
Right.
And anyway, what happened was, what was that question again?
About that night when mom was throwing plates at you and
Oh,
you came
okay.
home and
Yeah,
she
I
got
had,
you or whatever.
Yeah, I think I came home from work, and I was sitting on the couch in our apartment, second floor apartment. This is a different apartment now where I first met her. This is the next apartment where
Okay.
we moved together.
And was I born?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were a couple years old. We're sitting in the apartment, and I'm sitting on some kind of couch, and she got mad about something. I don't know what it was, or we had an argument, and all of a sudden I'm sitting here, and here comes the plate. And, you know, I was kind of a joker in a way. You know, I know I was going to lose, so the plate breaks right here on the wall. The next thing, a glass is over here on this wall. Before you know it, I'm going. They're all coming at me. Oh man, you know, I might have hit this one with my hand. I never got hit. I might have knocked him over. And I mean, every plate and dish in the house, that poor wall got hit. So I was lucky. I didn't get hit. And then I used to talk on a CB radio. She grabbed my radio and she's ready to throw it out the front window of the two-story house. I'm like, no, there might be someone walking down there. You might hit him. But I was thinking about my car was down there. I didn't want to break in my window. So she decided to set it down when I said that. When she set it down, I grabbed it and ran out the door. Got in my car and left. She gets in her car, chasing me again. Okay, so now we got a little problem. You're with her. I gotta watch what I do. So she chases me. We don't go to my mom's this time. Your grandma. We don't go there. I just wait for her to come right back home to the same house we were living in. So she gives up. She goes home. I'm behind her. She's in front of me. She gets out of her car. She goes to go in the house. She starts walking up the stairs. And then I pull behind her and I just, boom, right in the back of her car. I said, I'll teach her for chasing me. You were in her arms, so you weren't in the car. I said, I'll teach her. She's going to have to quit this stuff. She's got to quit. We can't go on and on. So I just smashed her car. I was stuck to her car. I couldn't even get my car loose. I told her to hold back in. Mine was fine. Mine was fine. I don't know if I was in a car or my truck. I don't remember. So the whole back of her car was all smashed. So that one went to the junkyard, you know. Of course, I bought her another one. I bought her favorite car, which was a Mustang at the time. Okay.
How many years did you stay married to Mom?
I don't know, 3, 4. It was a long time.
I thought it was only 2.
No,
And
it was 3. It was
2
at
years
least
you got
3.
divorced.
It was at least 3. I'd have to look for the papers, but I don't remember.
Okay.
I
So then you left about 6
I'm not
months
crying. I'm
after you
wiping my
divorced.
eyes. What's that now?
You left about 6 months after you got the divorce became final, right?
No, we were still together when we got divorced.
Right. And then when did you leave? How long were
About
you with?
6 months after.
Right.
the
That's what
divorce.
I just said. Right. So 6 months after, and then who decided? Who was the one who decided it's time to get divorced? Was it you or
Me.
Mom?
Me.
It was you.
And she agreed.
And she agreed.
Yeah, no conflict, no argument. Sure, no problem.
Now, Mom, at the time, after you, do you remember when Mom met Glenn?
No names.
Well, but he's a
No,
man that I respect.
Okay,
and
well, this
I
goes into
admire.
another little story here.
Okay.
I got tired of arguing. I didn't know what approach to use because every day was an argument. I was basically sick every day from my job, and I ended up with an illness, some kind of illness, and I couldn't get rid of it, like a flu. And it just kind of stayed with me with my smoking and my drinking that I did every day. Same as her. We both smoked and drank.
So you drink? You drink?
Beer.
Okay.
Beer.
Yeah, Mom drank. Yeah.
Vodka and grapefruit if I was in a bar to dance, but we didn't go dancing, so that's a different story. So now
You didn't go dancing with Mom?
No.
Oh.
But your mom was a drummer in a band, and she
Yeah.
took me to a bar one time. I didn't care for the people in the bar, okay?
Mom, so wait, Mom, did you see Mom play in the bar?
One bar.
She played live
She
in
played
front
the
of,
drums, yeah.
in front of an audience.
No, not an audience. Just like if you would go to a little get together and it happened to be a bar serving drinks, and the band, they paid a band to entertain the people, so the people buy more drinks, something like that.
Right. So Mom actually, I mean, she only did it once, or did she do it a little bit for her profession? I didn't know this.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she was a drummer.
I mean, I knew she was a drummer, but I didn't know.
Supposed to have been with a guy, Elvis
Yeah.
Presley, Rick Cicito or something, which I don't know. That was
Oh,
her.
those are okay.
Yeah,
so you
so-
didn't ever, but you saw her play live once.
Yeah, but
in the bar,
people
but
in
just-
the bar, it wasn't my type of a bar.
Right.
And I was scared to be in that bar because it was the wrong kind of a bar to go into, the wrong nationality at that time, in the wrong neighborhood. So that was it with me. I said, you go, I'm never doing that again. And I made her quit. I made her quit. I said, if you're going to marry me, I don't know if I was married at the time. I must have not been married to her. when I went to that bar. And I says, no, you got to quit that, because I didn't like the people in the bar.
Right.
Okay, so I made her quit. She quit. She did quit. That's weird. That's the only thing she ever did for me. Quit. No more of that.
She
So
cooked
quit.
for you.
No, but she cooked. Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
another,
she did that. She
that's
cooked.
another story.
And,
No, wait,
okay,
I
but
don't
go
wanna-
on. Oh, I know stories about what she
I don't
did for
wanna
you
change
with
the
cooking.
subject.
Yeah, go on. I want to know about.
I came
We'll
home
get
from
back to
work.
that question.
I come home from work. There's a big old turkey
Dog
leg.
burgers.
Yeah,
We'll
that too.
remember.
Yeah,
Okay, dog
But there's
burgers.
a big old. Well, I found that out through a friend. Yeah.
And then me. Okay, go
Oh,
on.
and you. Okay, yeah. Was
So-
that true?
Yeah, Mom. Well, at least Mom told me that.
Gainsburgers.
Yeah, you made her so mad. She cooked.
Gainsburgers.
She gave you dog food
Well,
for the dog
I
that you
come home
were.
from work. There's a big turkey leg. Hey, sweetheart, don't learn any of these tricks. A big old turkey leg on a plate. And she's got her tricks too. A big old turkey leg on a plate. I don't know if there's anything with it. That's all I remember. That and probably a beer. But the big old turkey leg, and I grab it. I'm hungry. Honey, this is cold. She walks right up to the plate and the turkey leg. Not the turkey leg. The whole plate and turkey leg. Breaks the dishes. She throws it in the garbage. You know, we got a lot of money to buy more dishes. All I wanted was warmed up, you know, so there went
I
my
would
dinner.
have said warm it up yourself.
There went my dinner, you know. I think I
Well,
was tough
eventually
guy.
I would've.
Nowadays I would run to Burger King after something like that, but I think I was a tough guy and said, heck with it, drank the beer and went to bed.
Yeah.
You know, so. And anyway, one time we had a super argument. Super argument. I was out till 2 o'clock in the morning talking on my CB radio. And she happened to know who I was talking to. They must have been talking to each other on the phone. And I walked in the door 2 o'clock in the morning.
Was this a male or a female?
Male and female I was talking on CB
Okay.
radio.
Oh, okay.
My dad was into that. You know, he talked on CB radios.
Okay.
You drove around in your cars. Some people had them in their house, but I couldn't afford one in the house, so I had mine in my car. So I was sitting in my car, talking to them, maybe at the park, and then later on in front of the house. And I walk in the house, and Mom opens the door. I put the key in there, and I open it up. She's standing on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning. Well, what is she doing up, right? So anyway, I open the door. She's got her hand behind her back. And when I was on the radio, I said, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I better get in. The wife's going to have a knife if I don't hurry home. So,
Okay.
so she opens the door, smiles at me before I even stepped in the door. Is this how I'm supposed to be standing here? Big old knife, you know, with a mean face. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. You know.
So, okay, do you know if Mom was listening on the CB
She had to
radio?
be talking to someone. She didn't
Or-
have a radio.
Okay.
She had to be talking to them on the phone.
What if it's possible that Mom actually just kind of knew? Maybe because again, Mom, my abilities come from both sides.
I don't know if it was a jealousy. But anyway,
Okay.
she heard what I said and she backed it up with a knife. So to let me know she heard me.
Okay.
Not that she's going to use that knife or anything. So I know I'm in trouble now. You know, just to look at her face with the knife, I'm in trouble. So, you know, I just go right to the bed and I lay down. She's yelling, screaming. I can't take it no more. Screaming, yelling. So I just lay there and I was a good faker. I lay there like I'm sound asleep, you know. Move the chest
He's
in and
honest.
out. Move the chest in and out, laying there in the bed. And all of a sudden I hear, honey, you better not sleep. I might stab you in your sleep. And I didn't move, I just kept faking it. All of a sudden the bed moved. I jumped. That's it, man. I'm getting out of here, so I left, you know.
Yeah.
So, that's
So-
what happened there. I ended the argument. I got the heck out of there. Tired, had to go to work, you know, the whole
Right.
shop.
So I know Mom to some level was afraid of you. I mean, she loved you. She loved you a lot because she stayed.
She wasn't afraid of nothing.
She wasn't afraid.
She wasn't afraid, no. She fights you. She
but,
fights you.
But she stayed, so she was afraid.
She fights
And
you.
she fought you, but
I
she
don't know
did
why
allow.
She stayed. I think she loved me.
She did love you.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Well, you loved her. I mean, you had to have, right? Or
I
no?
don't know. I don't know.
You don't know if you love Mom?
It's a lot of hate to love. You start off, everybody starts off good. It either goes good or it goes bad. Well, ours went bad. So the love left right away. Probably on the first argument. You know why? Because the first argument, she probably didn't yell at me. She went like this.
The first argument, Mom?
Probably put her fist up to me and started swinging at me. What am I going to do? You know what I did? You want to know what I did? I grabbed hold of her, picked her up because I knew judo, and I picked her up and I threw her in the bed. That's what I did, so I wouldn't hurt her. And she got back up swinging. I left. I just walked out and left. Didn't come back. Went over on the house and went to bed because I had a job. I had to go to work. I was too tired to go to work. I went to work many nights tired for many reasons. I might have been in a bar. I might have been in a bar drinking. Why I went to work tired. Might have been over an argument. I might have been sick. Many times I went to work tired.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, going back, let's go back to talking about Glenn. And you, like, when did
You
Glenn...
and her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend at the time. Yeah, but we can...
No.
I really enjoyed... I mean, I respected him.
Yeah, he was good.
He took care of me.
He didn't
when
like
I
me.
was with Mom.
He didn't like me.
Well, really, but who would like you with the stories that Mom painted?
How you doing? How's the dog? All right.
I mean, really, with the stories that Mom painted and told, I mean, why would?
Some of them were true,
Exactly. Some of them are true.
but your mom lied.
Mom did lie.
She
Mom,
lied.
Mom
She'd
lied
tell
a
you.
lot. Mom,
She would tell you a lie on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday. You know how I caught her? You know how I caught her one time? I had a friend, he was a policeman. I used to hang around with him. And this was the best lie I ever caught her in. And it's a simple lie, it ain't
Right.
a bad lie. And I always had long hair, okay?
Right.
So this policeman, she was talking to him, but they're not talking. But he's flirting with her, he's got a crush on her, and they're talking, but she won't tell me she's talking. So one day I walked up to that policeman, I got a haircut. He said, "You got a haircut?" I said, "Yeah, she made me." That was a lie. She did not make me. She liked me with long hair. So when I got home, "What do you mean I made you get a haircut?" "I told you guys were talking." Told you guys were talking. Okay, so that's what happened.
Well, and I mean, too, I think because when you're in a relationship with someone and living with someone, you eventually learn what buttons to push, what's going to upset them, what's going to get to them, and also when they're lying and when they're not lying.
Well, you start,
Right? I mean, you learn the patterns and know when someone's not telling
see,
the truth. And
I changed the subject because you asked me about her boyfriend.
Right, let's go back.
Now this gets a little long, but I got tired of the arguments. I got tired of being yelled at.
Wait, hold on, because that's loud.
2001, 2002, 2003.
We need one of those things.
Yeah. Can you cut it and stop it? or-
Well, eventually, I
Oh,
mean,
he's
I'm going to have two versions, the long version and then the edited version. Because, you know, when I was younger, I used to love the long version records. All right, so let's go back
All right,
to...
now we're going back to her boyfriend.
Right.
We got to go ahead of this. We got to go a week or two ahead of this, okay? So
we're a week or two, all right.
yeah, I let her know straight up, this is the way it's going to go. I'm tired of this. I said, you yell at me every day. I said, when I come home from work tomorrow, one word out of you, I'm going to leave for 1 day. A day later, when I come back, if I hear one word out of you, I'm leaving for 2. In 2 days, if I come in the house in one word, I'm leaving for 3. And then 4, and then 5, whatever it takes. So 4 days went by. Here's my 4th day now. I'm leaving for 4. You ain't gonna be able to yell at me for 4 whole days. Okay, I was laid off from my job. Terry and me decided we're going to Florida. A friend of mine.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Florida because I'm tired of being yelled at. So I go to Florida. I'm gone for 5 days, not 4, 5. All right.
So you left for, you said you'd be gone for 4, but
Right.
you were gone for 5.
But she don't know where I'm at. She
Okay.
don't know, all she knows is I'm gone. When the day I walk in the
So
house,
any woman would be freaking out,
right?
making
Well,
up
the
any...
day I
Okay.
walk in the house and you shut up, I'm staying. Okay. So this is my 4-day trial period. And you know, when I come back in 5 days later, if she goes, then I'm gone for 6. But it never got to that point.
Okay.
Okay, and we're not done with the 4 days yet.
Okay.
Me and a friend of mine went to Florida. We were
A
in
friend of yours,
Yeah.
female or male?
Male.
Okay.
We were in bars. We did everything. You know, we had a ball.
Okay.
You know, we're in Fort Lauderdale, spring break.
Were
No,
you
it wasn't-
looking at
it
Were you
wasn't.
looking at women while you were
Oh,
there?
Sure I was. I
Okay.
still look to this day, and I'm married.
And okay, so let me ask you, truth, mom's dead, but when you were in Florida, did you kiss any girls? Did
No.
you mess with any? Okay. All right. Cool. All
Didn't even have to buy him a drink. It was ladies' night.
All right. Go on with the story. All right.
So anyway,
5 days you're there.
5 days. I call her New Year's night, an hour ahead. Florida's an hour ahead of here, and I wish her Happy New Year. And she says to me, "Get your butt home," but a swear word.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
get your butt home. And I said, I can't. I'm 1,200 miles from home. I'm in Florida. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. So I don't know. Maybe she hung up on me. I said, I called you to tell you Happy New Year. Okay, they were at the hotel throwing everybody's lawn chair with them on it. If they didn't get off it, right in the pool. It was hilarious. It was.
And
a
you
good-
were husband and wife at this time, or divorced?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't remember. So anyway, you know, our chair and us in the pool and everything went in the pool. So I was smart enough to jump off the lawn chair, so I didn't get thrown in the pool at the hotel. And anyway, I come home. We drove. I got home. Not a word was said. Instead of Schlitz beer in the refrigerator, there was Michelob. What the heck? I don't drink Michelob, but I could. And my car window was broke, and there was a neck of a beer bottle on the ground by my car window, and it was a Michelob. And that's what's in my refrigerator. And the 2 wine glasses on the end table, which weren't mine. So that dawned on me. I didn't say nothing. Nothing was said. I didn't get yelled at. That's what I was asking for. I was tan, had a good time swimming. I loved the ocean. I loved the sun. I came home with a nice tan, had a good time. So we were both happy. She was here, I was there. So we were away from each other. Everything worked out. Wow, this is great. But it got to thinking. 2 wine glasses, a different beer in the refrigerator, and a broken car window. So I leave, you know, and I go
You
2
were
3
putting
blocks.
the pieces together.
Yeah, I go 2 3 blocks away, and I sit in my car. I do this for a couple weeks. I put 2 and 2 together. She's got a boyfriend. So that's okay, you know. This ain't working for us anyway. So I'm not going to argue with that. What am I going to do? You know, our relationship is a dog. It's no
It
good.
didn't. So, it didn't like hurt
Well,
you,
yeah,
seeing, or did it?
well, that's
or
why I sat 2 3
it
blocks
made you
away.
mad?
I wanted to kick
Okay.
his butt.
Okay.
But I don't want to end up in jail, so why kick his butt?
Right.
You know,
right.
you're mad, you're drinking, you're putting two together. You already left for 4 or 5 days. You know, maybe I get called back to work. Maybe I find another job. I got to quit playing this game. I got to do
Right.
what life expects me to do.
Right.
So I go to, you know, whatever came first. I don't remember. So anyway, maybe 6 or 8 months down the road, I see that guy on a blanket in Cal Park, laying on a blanket with another girl. Aha! I'm not telling her this. I got her. He's cheating on her, you know. So I actually caught him with another lady, which I never told him. Okay, and that was 6 or 8 months later. That was the beginning of their relationship because they were together longer than me and her was. Okay?
So that the guy that mom
Was going on.
basically
His
cheated
dad
on
was
you
his
with.
dad was a newspaper guy, and he worked with his dad.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So
later
that's
on,
allegedly.
yeah,
All right.
later on, they've been dating. I go to where she works in a convenient food store where I got my coffee all the time. And you used to spend the day there in a shopping cart. She put you in a shopping cart instead of get a babysitter. I don't know how old you were, but You fit in a
afford
shopping
a
cart.
babysitter.
Yeah, they don't even
A
have
crate. It was a crate.
Yeah, they
Wasn't
don't
it
know
like
a
the milk
shopping
crate?
cart.
Oh, shopping.
A
Yeah.
shopping cart.
All right.
Yeah, they don't have them no more, but they used
Some
to have
stores have them.
Yeah, they don't have them in that store no more. but
Right.
They used to. And I used to stand there and talk to her when I drink my coffee, you know, just talk as friends, you know, while she was working the register. And every time he would see me, he had a big old four-wheel drive pickup truck, and he would see me, and he'd either throw a bottle out the window, not a plastic, but he'd throw a bottle out the window, and I'd be running over glass. And I got so tired of him doing that I went up to your mom and I says, you tell him the next time he sees me and he throws a bottle and don't wave at me, you tell him I want him waving at me. Because if he don't wave at me, I am going to go beat the living shit out of him.
Okay.
So
gotta
he
believe
better
that.
wave it. I got tired of it.
Right.
So I had to be a man to stand up for my rights, like the two guys that were chasing you one time and I made you put your fist up. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
So I had to be a man too. I had to teach myself.
And I wouldn't
I'm
hit
not.
him.
Yeah, I got to teach myself. I'm not going through this every day.
You used to get mad at me because I wouldn't fight back, but I didn't. But look at where
So
that
you
is
changed the
fighting.
subject again.
No, that wasn't how I changed that. All right, so go on. No, go on.
But anyway, what was I at?
It was. So you were waving, and so clearly you let mom know.
So he started to wave at me.
Okay.
So that's cool, you know. But I had a comment when I told her that. When I says, you tell him to wave at me, I didn't say ex-wife. I said, you tell him to wave at me because he's with my wife. I'm not with his wife. Then I deserve a wave because you're mine and not his. So he waved at me. He realized I was right.
So when you said that, though, that has me feel that you were still married and not divorced.
I think so, yeah. And I think the divorce came after the boyfriend came.
But you had said
I'm
that
not
you
sure.
lived together, though, when you got divorced.
Well, that's later on. That's later on. We're not
So,
divorced.
but Glenn, you wouldn't have moved in with mom.
Well, she was
during
working in
Glenn.
the store. If you were in the shopping cart, you were little, so we were probably still married. Right? Because that's in that same time frame.
Maybe
He would bring the papers in. I could be standing there talking to her, and he brings the papers in for his dad in the delivery truck every day.
But see, when I remember Glenn, Glenn was around when we had the trailer.
I bought that trailer
Right, you bought the trailer
because
for
I
mom
owed her,
instead of child support.
I owed her money for child support, so I
Right.
paid for the trailer.
Right, and so so now, during those years that I lived with mom, I never really saw you that much because rather it be mom didn't let you see me,
Right.
or because you just didn't really.
Well, when you were in the trailer park, we were already divorced.
Right. So
You were
did
walking
you make
to-
efforts to come?
You were walking through the trailer park. I was coming home from work. You had beat red hair at the time. And you said, Dad, look at Mom made me get my hair cut because you liked long hair because I had long hair. And I said, yeah, it'll grow back. You were very upset. You were walking. And I couldn't even ask you for a ride because I was told I can't do that. So I had to leave you walk. I left you walk. I pulled over and I said, yeah, it'll grow back. And I said, where you headed? I think you were going to St. Florian. I don't know. The church, you know, or the
Right.
school. Maybe the school, because you went to school there too. So that ended that. I didn't even give you a ride to school. Left you walk. And you didn't care. You knew whatever the situation was, you had knew. So you didn't even think about that, like I didn't think about it. But I thought about it when I got home, you know, I couldn't even give my own kid a ride. You know, I'd have been in trouble. So I left it alone, you know. And now what's next?
Long question. Okay, so all right, so all those years of living with mom, when the time came, talk about the story when the day that you took me. The day that because here's what happened on the inside that you don't know. This is let me share this part of the story, and then you can interject where you would have come in. So the day that you did come was the day that it was school. It was the day I was supposed to go to school, and mom was with Stephen, my youngest brother's dad. Stephen wasn't even born yet, and I had walked in on them having sex, and I felt uncomfortable. So I went to pick up the phone to call Grandma to come pick me up for school or whatever it was. And Mom got up and said, "You're not going to school," and hit me over the head with the phone.
Is that a Steve or is there a Bob in the picture?
There's no, this was Gary.
What's the other guy's name?
Let's not talk about that. Let me finish this part of the story, okay? And we don't want to talk about that name that I believe you're thinking of, but that was before. So this was the day. So Mom hits me upside the head with the phone, and then I fall, and then she drags me down the hall by my hair, right?
Where was I?
You weren't there yet, remember?
No.
You weren't there yet. I was in the house. I was in the trailer, right? I didn't live with you.
I never stayed in the trailer, yeah.
Right. You were
So
long
we were
gone. This
divorced.
is when I was
We were
like
divorced.
10, yeah, this is 11 years old. You were gone.
Yeah.
So,
No, I got you when you were 10.
okay, so 10. I was 10. All
Yeah,
right.
you were 10.
All right. So, but not custody. This was just
No, I got custody when you were 10.
No, Dad, you didn't.
Yeah, we're jumping the gun, but go ahead.
Right.
We're ahead of schedule.
I know because you keep
Well, that happens when you get old.
Let me finish the story, please, all right? So, Mom's dragging me down the hall by my hair, and I remember her hands around my throat and me asking her if she was trying to kill me. And she said yes. And then I heard the knock at the door. And that's when you were at the door.
Don't remember.
You don't remember the day? You don't remember the day coming to pick me up?
Where was I taking you?
Wait a minute. The day that Mom kicked me out the door with the plastic bags.
Don't remember none of it. You sure it was me? I don't remember.
Okay, so tell me about. You don't remember the day coming to pick me up? We just talked about it a few weeks ago. When Mom packed up my stuff in garbage bags and threw them out the door.
No, you talked about that. I didn't talk about that. I don't remember none of that.
Okay, so you don't. All right. So what do you remember about getting custody of me?
It was when the police came in, knocked at the door, and it was going to take me to jail because your mother called them and told them you belong with her and not me.
Okay. So I was living with Grandma at the time.
Right.
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 And I was here in this house
Yeah.
where my best friend lived at
Right,
the time.
right.
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 Okay.
And you refused to go with her. And I looked at you and I said, DJ, the policeman's standing right there with handcuffs, ready to take me to jail if you don't leave, so you have to leave. I gotta go to work. Grandma says, yes, that's true, DJ. You gotta go. We'll figure something out. We'll figure out what to do.
Right.
You didn't want to go. You probably cried. You went. You went with him. The next day, you come running back. I think she had you babysit her.
I was gone a little
Your
bit.
brother or
I was
something.
gone a while.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, anyway, you came back. The police come back again. So, you got a court date. Someone scheduled a court date. The policeman that came for you.
Let me interject with the story that you don't know this story of how I came back.
Okay.
Right? So I moved back in with Mom across from school in
Down
that
here,
house.
down here.
And the reason why I came back was because Gary, the same guy, was climbed on the roof, broke in, and was beating Mom again. And I ran out at 2 in the morning to a neighbor's, and they called the cops.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then the grandma came, and then you got called wherever you were, and then that's when we ended up having to go to the court or the police station. I remember going to the police station, and the judge taking me in
We had an
saying
appointment to go to the police station.
because
Me,
they
you,
wanted
and your
it,
mom.
and then they took me in separate, and asked me
Right.
who I wanted to live with.
And you said me.
Yes.
Right.
And then you ended up giving Grandma guardianship because Grandma wanted me, she was taking care of me, and you had work and all of that stuff and living your life. So, but you don't remember the day though, coming to pick me up in the trailer, Dad?
Never did. Never did.
You did.
No, someone else did.
That was
Not
you.
me. No. No, I did not bring you here with no clothes, no bags, nothing. Someone else. I don't remember. I don't remember. Was I drinking?
All right.
It's possible.
So that's Whisper of Love at Home with David, and thanks for tuning in, and my dad, David. And we got to share stories about my mom.
My first interview, I need more practice.
No, that was good.
Oh,
That
okay.
was, no, you did good. I thought you did really good.
Okay, well, about time.
You've done good.
All right.
All right.
Amen.
Okay, so these were good stories about your childhood. So talk about the story that you were just talking. We were talking about first psychic, and that you were saying that you were psychic. That many of your visions, as I say, or ideas happen. So what are some of those examples? Like the example you just gave, off camera. That's why I'm putting I put the camera back on.
So where was I at? I forgot where I was at.
Okay, but why would we talk about like what had you feeling that you were psychic? What made you think that? So you're not psychic? Is that what you're saying now?
Not now, because
Okay, but what had you say that you were psychic when
well,
you were
things
younger?
that I thought of actually happened.
Like?
So it's psychic. I don't
Like?
remember. I don't remember.
So then you can't say that you
No, because I forgot. But things
you forgot in the total of
I
5
could
minutes.
almost predict things that would happen.
Okay.
See that girl walking down the street when I was younger?
Yeah.
I'm gonna end up going out with her. Psychic. Well, she ended up my girlfriend.
Not that girl.
Well, whatever it was at the time, it came true. My
Well,
psychic worked.
because you made that happen.
Well,
you
it's still
created
it's
that.
psychic, you know. No,
All right.
psychic.
So, all right, you were talking about taking karate when you were a kid, because like me, kids used to pick on you or whatever. So,
Well, my mother created that. She
Okay, how?
signed me up and paid the bill. She
okay,
didn't think I needed to be tough. She thought I needed to learn how to fight because I was getting beat up all the time.
okay,
So I went, took lessons to fight. Kind of puts a fear in the enemy. Should I hit this guy or not? He knows karate, even though I may not know it, I may not be any good. So they kind of back off and they quit, you know. And 4 guys fight me a couple times in my life, and I won with 4 people. Not using karate, not using anything from being strong, from lifting weights, from jogging down the street.
Why did they used to pick on you? What were
I have
things?
no idea. I have no idea. Just
You
punks.
don't remember.
Part of life. It's part of growing up. Everybody has this problem growing up. Carl's gonna have
But
this
you
problem.
said earlier, though, that you reacted with your fists. Because that's
Well, I
what
was taught to fight.
you were taught
I
to
was
fight.
trained to fight.
And what you were
But I
talking
wasn't trained to fight. I was trained to back off. You don't use it unless you have to. So I wasn't really trained to hurt anybody.
Right.
You know, it's
You
just
just-
taught in case you needed it.
Okay.
4 guys jump you, you need it. Okay?
Mhm.
You're not out to hurt nobody. I was taught right.
I heard if a woman lies, you hit her.
No.
But you did, but right.
No,
yeah.
no. She swung first. I was
Oh.
taught. I was always taught let them swing first.
All right.
And then you're covered. For some reason, if you let them swing first, you're all right. That's what I was taught.
So when you were in karate, did they teach you, it didn't matter if there was male or female back in the day then?
Well, you actually fought females and when you were being taught. There were male, female kids, all different age brackets. You were practicing with fighting as you're being taught.
Right.
So it didn't matter male or female.
Because that's what you were a kid
Right.
learning
I was
that.
16 years old.
16.
16.
Okay, so you weren't like 7 when you were taking
Right.
karate.
Right.
Okay, so talk about Grandpa, like,
Well, wait a minute. We're not
Okay.
done with the karate yet.
all right,
All right, I was so good, I was coordinated because I used to jog and lift weights. Okay, I made a rule, I had a rule. My rule was I was in and out of the house all day long as a kid, 16 years old. I never liked watching TV, but I did watch TV. I always wanted to be outside. So I made up a rule. Every time I walked in the door, I had to grab my weights and lift them before I could walk back out the door. So I practiced what I preached. I did just that. Okay, now I'm strong. I'm coordinated. I'm really good. A lot of people, that makes them jealous. They want to be as good as you, so they pick on you. Well, then they find out you're good. So 4 of them jumped me one time, and I fight them all 4. I'm strong. I just throw them all off of me as they came at me. And then I didn't want to hurt nobody. I didn't want no problems, so I start running away from them because I knew I could run. So I got 4 guys chasing me now after I really won. They were on my back. You know, I stood up and threw them away. So I start running knowing they can't catch me. So I'd run fast forward, and then I would turn around and jog backwards as they're chasing me, saying, here I am, here I am.
So you were actually antagonizing
Well,
them
I'm acting
too.
like a punk. Yeah, I got jumped by 4 guys.
Okay, right.
So I would run again until they got wore out, stopped and turned around and went back.
Okay.
Okay, but now see, I got sidetracked again on what I was really going to tell you. So I'm in the karate studio. I'm good. The instructor used to call me a brick shit house. I was a white belt. I was a beginner. He puts me fighting a brown belt. So I fight this brown belt. It doesn't happen. You're not good enough as a white belt to do what I did. But I was strong and coordinated. I picked them up, threw them down in a competition in a house, in the studio, not in public on TV, in the studio, a competition there to see where I rate.
Okay.
So I picked the brown belt up and I throw them down. Everybody in there, the instructor, the supervisor, the master, claps. Everybody claps. Ooh, I did good. So I'm proud. I threw a brown belt. They put me with another brown belt after that. And then we bowed out. He went on the sideline, the next one steps in. I fight him. Boom. Got him too. Hey, you're not supposed to clap. It's a mutual thing. You know, you win, you lose. You win, you lose.
It's actually right.
But it wasn't supposed to happen with a white belt and a brown belt. A brown belt's too good for a white belt to even do that. I caught him off guard. That was good. Second one I got. The third one says, you just got both of my brothers. Those are my brothers. 3 brothers taking lessons. I don't notice till after the fight. The third one picks me up, throws me, and he does not go by the rules. He lets go of me. He's not supposed to let go of my arm. He is to hold my arm through the whole process. He lets go. When he lets go, it causes my body to twist as I fall, hurting my back. My back felt like it was broke. I had a shooting pain like a toothache. Don't worry, there's a doctor in the house taking lessons. The doctor stretches me, makes me hurt even worse. You're gonna be fine, you're all right. From that day on, 16 years old to this day now, I got a slipped disc. That was the beginning of the injury, and I've suffered this my whole life trying to learn how to fight. So it's not worth it. The moral of the story is it ain't worth it.
What ain't worth it?
Fighting ain't worth it. Trying to learn, you get hurt.
Right.
That was a learning process. I got hurt
Right.
in the learning process. How did I get hurt? I was too good.
So
I threw 2 brothers. That should have never happened. The third guy should have never spited me.
Right.
But he did.
So then, like.
I lost with the black belt. He got me right away. Okay, now go ahead.
So then, like, even as a kid, like, when you said you used to make me turn around and that one time to hit him, that actually would have not have been good. It was good that I didn't.
It was
hit.
good because they left you alone, but it could have ended up bad.
Right.
It could have been bad. It was a gamble. What I did was a gamble, and you would have been the one in trouble with the gamble because I'd have had you fight till you guys shook hands.
Right. So
and they backed off.
So what about Grandpa? Grandpa was absent. You didn't. Grandpa. Like, what memories do you have?
My dad, yeah.
What memories do you have of Grandpa, like, as a kid?
Well,
like, do you remember living with Grandma and Grandpa at
I
all?
come home from school, probably kindergarten.
Okay.
And I was in the backyard. We had a prairie across from our house. We used to go on the prairie and get spiders and eat rhubarb. We weren't supposed to pick the rhubarb, but it was so good. So, no, Mom, I ain't eating no rhubarb. We would pick the rhubarb out of that prairie. It's good. It's sour taste. I loved it. And the grapes, we weren't supposed to eat them, which we did. And I'd catch spiders and bees and snakes and lizards, all kind of stuff. We had fun in that prairie as a kid. Well, one of my friends got mad at me, and he started fighting, and I lost the fight. I came in the house crying. For some reason, the dad that I don't know and the dad that I don't live with, the dad that left me the day I was born, happened to be in the house when I got in there crying. And he told me to go back out there and fight my own battles, that he couldn't help me. So that's the way that went, and went from one thing to another, where my mom decided she should have her son learn how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was just I don't know why he was there visiting. Maybe he wanted a hug, I don't know. But he was there. So I was too young to know anything at the time. When I was 15, 17, let me think. I think I was about 17 years old. I asked my mom where my dad lived, and kind of twisted her arm. Please take me out to his house. I want to see. She takes me out there, and she sits a block away in a gas station, and I go. She drops me off at his house. She waits at the gas station for me. Well, Dad insists that I just didn't walk 20 miles to get to his house. How did you get here? I'm not supposed to tell. Mom made me promise. How did you get here? Mom took me here. Where's she at? Man, the corner in the gas. He goes and gets her, brings her in the house with his wife there, his new wife that he's married to, and Mom is totally mad at me. I mean, I'm the enemy now. I'm going to be yelled at forever. So that's the story. Now that I know where he lives, I'm going to go visit him. When I start driving, I don't even have a license. I'm driving the car without a license. Yeah.
Back then it was more acceptable, right?
Yeah.
It was more...
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't.
No?
But if you got caught, you were in trouble.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was a good driver, so I'm not going to get caught. But you can. I had it lucky. I never got caught. So I go visit him, and start going places with him on weekends, his day off, my day off. Because I was working. I worked all my life, even as 12 years old, cutting grass. I don't know what job I had at 16, but I
You used
worked
to shine
in
shoes,
the chicken
too.
store. I worked in the chicken store. I shined shoes in bars.
I shine
that
shoes in bars.
I was not allowed to go in, but I did. I still got my shoe shine kit. My
I
grandmother,
actually had it.
my grandmother made for me.
I actually had
I
it.
wasn't allowed to go past a certain street, which I did. And I gave up my shoe shining career when a guy in a bar was rowdy, and he said to me, "If I ever catch you in here again, I'll cut off all your hair." So that sounded mean. Cut my hair off? So I never went. That was it. I gave up shoe shine. I realized this could be dangerous. It was a quarter a shine. Some give you a little more, some give you a little less,
And I remember going into...
And that helped the arm muscles, trying to get that snap that you were supposed to have, not just a little. You were supposed to have that snap. Is the way you were taught, so I had to get that snap. Well, people
When
enjoyed.
you say it was the way you were taught, well, who taught you to shine shoes?
My grandmother.
Grandma Rose?
Yeah, Grandma Rose professionally had me a shoebox made.
So did Grandma shine shoes? How did she?
No, I don't know. But
She just taught you.
She was a jack of all trades. She grew up poor, and she probably did it herself too. Maybe her husband, which is my grandpa, maybe taught her to teach me. I don't know.
Something Grandma would. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go back because you brought up something about Dad leaving you. Do you remember the day I was born? Like going to the hospital
yeah.
with Mom. Talk about that.
The day you were born. Let me see. Wait a minute.
Come on.
Wait a minute. I'm outside the hospital in South Chicago. She's getting in the car with you in the back seat. I'm in the back seat, so someone drove me there. Someone drove me to the hospital because I was in the back seat. You and her got in.
So we were all. No, I wasn't born yet. I couldn't have. Like, Mom went to the
When
hospital.
you went to the hospital.
Yes, like Mom was pregnant, getting ready to deliver
She had a
me.
lot of false alarms, I actually got mad at her because I take her to the hospital, and she would be fine, send her back home. 6 weeks later, another false alarm.
Typical
Yeah,
pregnancy,
like you're
right?
coming every day you're going to be born, and it's, a false alarm.
Okay.
And one time we had a real bad argument. Her mother was in the car with us.
Grandma,
Her
okay,
no,
Grandma
no,
Somerset.
not-
Grandma Somerset.
Yeah, her
she's-
mother was with us, and she was crying. We had such an argument. She was pregnant, and I ran a red light or I was speeding. Something like that. The police pulls me over. Her mom comes up with this bright idea. I said, oh shit, now you got me in trouble, police report. Her boss says, put your head in his lap. So she puts her head in my lap. She's already crying from the argument. And all of a sudden, my brain thinks when the policeman gets to the door. I say, officer, she's pregnant and I'm on my way to the hospital in a hurry. He turns his light on, gets in front of us, escorts us to the hospital. Thank you, officer. We get out of the car, he leaves, we get right back in the car and we leave. She don't go in. It was.
I was used
They were
as
backing
a
me up.
lie
Yeah.
when I was still in my mother's stomach.
Exactly.
I was used to get out of trouble
I didn't want to get a
before
ticket.
I was born.
Right. Save me a ticket, right?
I see. I
So
should
the policeman left. He
before
didn't-
I ever entered this world.
He left. I don't know why he left. So we were able to not have to go in the hospital because that would have cost money.
Right.
So when he leaves, we leave.
Right.
Okay, now that was over just a ticket and an argument.
Okay.
And when he seen her tears and her in my lap, he
Right.
realized we were telling the truth.
Right.
Which was not. We
Which
were
was
good
not
liars.
the truth, right.
Yeah, we were good liars. So that's before you were born.
Right. All
Probably
right. So,
3 months later you were born.
so now let's talk about the day that I was born. Like, mom went into delivery.
I
Did you
think
go into the delivery room?
No, I was working.
No, you were eating in the cafeteria.
I don't remember that.
Another thing, my dad. You don't remember you were hungry. You've told me this story before.
This is 70 years ago.
I'm 70 years old.
Nah,
How old does
I'm
that
messing-
make you?
I'm messing with you.
Right, my dad likes
Well, you
to joke a
forget
lot when
things. You
you're
don't
born.
remember everything.
All right, so you don't remember the day I was born? Because that says a lot too. Come on. Remember the day I was born.
Well, there's two of you. I remember one was born in 1106. Let me tell you a story.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, when I worked 3 to 11 at work, I punched out at 1106 was my punch out time.
Okay.
And one of you was born at 1106.
Was not me.
Okay. So now I don't remember you then. I forgot you. Okay?
All right.
You were forgotten about.
So, all right.
I
So
don't
the
remember.
story that you told
You
me.
weren't forgotten then, but you're forgotten now because I don't remember.
The story you've told me many times, and also mom and grandma. Grandma was actually on the way to the hospital to have her hysterectomy the same day I was born.
No, see, I didn't know.
And then you were
Grandma
at the
never had
hospital
the
and
hysterectomy.
you were hungry. You took mom to the hospital. You drove mom to the hospital and you were hungry because you thought it was another false alarm. And you went to the cafeteria.
Okay.
Are you recalling?
Sounds logical. Sounds like something I would do.
You went to the cafeteria
Okay,
and
all right,
ate
okay.
because you were so hungry because you needed to eat for
Okay.
whatever reason.
Sounds like me.
And then I was
So I
born.
probably just got off work if I was hungry.
So I was
She
born
wasn't
at
home to make my
2:05
food.
p.m.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. You were born at 2 in the afternoon. You're right.
2:05.
Yeah, you're right. Now I remember.
Okay.
I think I was too. I think I was born at that time. I think I was.
Grandma said you were a morning baby.
Okay. All right.
Where's your birth certificate? Don't you know what time you were
Does
born?
it tell you the time on that?
Yeah.
I'll have to look. I don't care. I'm here. But I
it's
was
clear.
hatched. I wasn't born.
You were
yeah.
All right.
That
so
makes
see,
you a big turkey. Yeah.
I'm a big turkey.
Yeah.
All right. Turkeys aren't hatched.
Yeah, they are.
Chickens are hatched. Are
Chickens?
turkeys? No.
Don't they lay eggs?
That's something I don't know. I don't know if turkeys lay
So if he
eggs.
sits on the egg, eventually
Is
it's
it
going to
well?
hatch.
Is a turkey a part of the chicken family? If it's part of the chicken family, then maybe it would lay eggs.
Well, listen to this. Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Exactly.
All right.
We don't know.
Which came first, listen or hear? See,
This
your
is
ears-
yeah, right.
You know, you're listening, but you're
Why
hearing.
you knocking?
See, you're listening or hear. You're hearing me now,
Right.
but you're not listening, but you're hearing me. So I think hearing came before listening.
Well, of course.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Well, it also too, which comes, well, we have hearing, we have our thoughts, we have our words, and we have our actions. Which of them come first? Because you got to have a thought before you speak it. Really, but some people talk without without thinking
Right.
and just talk.
That's me.
But yet, you got to think. You got to be able to form. Your brain's formulating the words.
Yeah.
So those are thoughts that we're speaking about.
Mhm.
All right. So, but what comes first then, the feeling or the thought? Well, if we have a thought, that then triggers a feeling. Like it triggers the happy or the sad or the angry, right? So the thought comes first. But what comes first, the thought or the hearing? Probably the hearing, because if someone's saying something, then you're hearing it, then you formulate the thought. Then you speak back, whether you speak back in anger or frustration or love or joking or happiness, but right? So then it must be, so it's all on what we hear. So if we're hearing bad, then we learn bad, right?
Right.
Or, but again, who's to say what's bad and what's good? Because that's just judgment.
Well, it's like the wife
It's
coming
life.
out looking at me and you and say, what are you going to do today? And I tell her nothing.
She didn't say that.
And she says, you didn't do that. You did that yesterday. Nothing.
No.
I said, I'm not done yet.
You're thinking hypothetically.
No, I'm not done doing nothing yet.
You're not done doing nothing
Right.
yet.
She said, you did that yesterday. I said, well, I'm not done yet.
All right.
We're still going to do nothing.
But the truth of the matter thing is, there is no such thing as nothing. Yet everything is nothing. But even sitting here, you're doing something. You're breathing. You're twiddling your thumbs. You're talking
I
to
was
your oldest
copycatting
son.
you.
I wasn't. You're talking to your oldest son.
I like this one.
My dad's a big jokester.
Okay, where were we? My dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was also another time when I went to
Well,
visit
we
my
were
dad.
talking about. Yeah. All right. Go
He
back.
was dying in the hospital with cancer.
Okay.
Okay, and I didn't know how to get to the hospital. So I had my mom take me. Well, she don't want to take me because he's married again and stuff. I beg her, Mom, please take me to the hospital. I'll get lost. So St. Joseph, downtown Chicago, she takes me to the hospital. I go up to his room. How did you get here? I'm not supposed to tell him. Mom don't want me to tell him. He knows I just didn't get there on my own because he knows me. Psychic, right? So he knows someone had to bring me there. So I have to say, Dad, Mom brought me. Where's she at? Mom brought me. Where's she at? Downstairs. Go get her. So now Mom's in the hospital room with me, him, and his wife. Mad at me again because I promised I would not tell him that she was there. So he, of course, he's dying. He wants to see her one last time before he dies or whatever. So he makes me go get her. She gets mad. She's not seeing my outlook on it. She gets mad, so now I'm mad at you. You know, now I got to deal with Mom being mad. Dad's happy I went and got her, but he was mad, boy. You go get her now. So his voice roared, so I listened to what he said, even though I was never raised by him or, obeyed him or nothing like that, because it just wasn't there. I wasn't there.
But Grandpa passed away when you were an adult.
Yeah. My mom's dad, and she told me, if you ever want to see your grandpa again, you better come see him now because he ain't gonna make it till tomorrow. And I says, I don't want to go.
That
She
was
said,
Grandpa.
Okay. She said, okay.
That was Grandpa.
My grandpa.
Yeah, but my grandpa, your dad, passed away when you
He
were an
did.
adult.
Yeah, he was at home when he died. In a hospital bed at home. He refused to go back to the hospital because he said they was trying to kill him.
Were you?
So,
Sounds familiar.
well, all them experiments, you would think they were killing him. Yeah, you
They
would
were-
actually think
yeah,
that they
you
were
would
killing
think.
him.
But now, were you there when he died? No.
No.
How did you hear Grandpa died?
I went to visit him. He was laying in his hospital bed, facing the wall, not moving, not doing nothing, looked like he was dead. And then I got a call, whatever, that day or the next day or a week later that he had died.
But they took
And
him
that
home
was,
when he died.
That was St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Yeah.
So Grandpa died on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay.
He might have been laying there dead for a day, who knows?
And I didn't learn Mom died until 3 months after she died.
Exactly.
And then you got married on her 1-year anniversary of her death. Not
even knowing.
well, you knew she died, but you didn't put.
Yeah, I didn't study no dates because I
Right.
didn't care.
Right, you didn't care.
Right.
You said it.
Right.
Right. And that was the day that I got to meet my now stepbrother and your new wife.
Yeah, they're in the house now.
Yeah.
Or in the garage or the yard. Or more listening to that.
And the wind actually was like this on your wedding day.
Yeah, it was
Like,
too windy.
and it was very windy, and I kept remembering it was Mom. I was feeling like it was Mom trying to like sabotage the wedding.
Well, my mom got dizzy. You took off your tie, put it in ice
Because
water.
Grandma
to keep-
fainted. Because that was a very traumatic day for
Yeah,
everyone
'cause she
involved.
didn't want me to get married.
But, you know, it's your life, and right. But, yeah, that day. Grandma looked pretty that day.
Yeah.
Grandma was dressed, and Arlene and my aunt, your sister, and her were dressed alike.
Yeah.
I dressed in that suit, and that was the day that actually that was the day that I came from. It was the day that the piece I choreographed for Mom when she died. It was the last day it was being performed, and I came from all the way from the suburbs from that performance out.
I was shocked.
Or no,
when
I
you came.
went. Right, I came to the wedding, and then I had to leave the wedding to go to the performance. It was
Right.
one of those.
The wedding was at Wolf Lake in the park.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was all very.
It was a good
It was
day.
nice. Yeah.
It was too windy. My hair wouldn't stay for the pictures, and it was long. It was a messy because of the wind. Blowing the plates off the table, they had to keep them down or hold them down, whatever they did. Keep the stuff on the tables. But it was real windy. And then we got in the car, and after that, we drove to the Cal Park, like a circle, to the east side, showed them where I used to live, came back home.
Oh, you did that?
Oh yeah, drove her around.
Oh, so you gave her a tour of, yeah.
We might have went to McDonald's. I don't remember, you know. We
Right.
probably went to McDonald's and stuff like that.
You took her to McDonald's on your wedding day?
Probably at the drive-thru. Yeah, you didn't know it was a cheap date, yeah.
No, I know,
Well, those were the poor days, but even though it was
those
only
were the
8
poor
years
days.
ago,
It was only how many?
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah.
How many years is it?
Poor days, poor. You always
7
cry
years.
poor.
I'm ready to get rid of this one now and start on the next one. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
See, but then the jokes, you never know what's serious and what's not. It leaves you in suspense.
Getting back to Dad.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
Grandpa.
he bought some land. He wanted before he bought some land and a couple trailers in Tennessee on a mountain. And I kind of liked it. You went up a little twisting hill. Only one car could go, not two at the same time. You'd end up in a ditch. I don't know what happened if you ever met a car head on. Someone would have to back out of there. But anyway, his land was here. And if you walked up another hill as tall as that house, you were on top of a hill above his property, which I wanted to buy. It was $12,000. And I heard about it, wanted to buy it, so I asked my half-brother to take me up there and show me when I was there. So I walk up there with him, he shows me this land, and I fell in love with it, but there was a problem. He's got the same last name as me. I live in Illinois, and they're moving to Tennessee. So now that I live in Illinois and they're in Tennessee, who's going to watch my land for me, right?
Right.
So anyway,
They come in to see you.
he lives next door. Down there.
All right, so the land. Finish on the story.
So he takes me up there, shows me all these marijuana plants.
Grandpa?
My half brother.
Oh, your half brother. Okay.
Grandpa don't know.
Okay.
He don't know his son is wheeling and dealing.
Okay.
And now I know why they call it wildflower. Because if you plant something, it's going to grow wild. It's going to be everywhere. So here is a mountain, nice land that I would like to own and put me a trailer on there. Nice vacation property. I could come there and spend instead of renting hotels. And what happens? I can't buy it. I'm reading newspapers, psychic. It's on the radio. It's everywhere. Mr. So-and-so has marijuana on his land, and he's going vacationing back and forth. I don't know. I can't buy it. I just can't buy it. Too much there. Out of hand, got out of control on him, planting it, selling it. Later on, I'm working in a food store years down the road. I'm working in a store. A guy comes up to me, ain't you so-and-so's brother? I'm like, yeah. Well, he's in jail. I'm like, oh, it figures.
Because he grew plants on that
Yeah,
land.
he got busted. No, he got busted for selling it.
Oh.
So then I put two and two together. I'm psychic. That's just what he was doing.
Now you're saying you're psychic.
Well, it was then.
You were then.
Yeah, I dreamt that I would be in jail if I bought that, so I didn't buy it.
Right. So
Stay on.
it warned you. So that
Well,
was psychic.
he would have been selling from my property if I'd have bought that.
Right.
He'd have been growing it on my property
Right.
because it was already there before I would buy it.
That's
I didn't buy
actually
it.
trusting your intuition.
I got a picture of me, him, and his wife standing next to a marijuana plant this tall.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
We'll bring it out.
I can't.
Why?
It's on the wall.
Well, then sit, and I'll look at it later.
Don't forget.
All right.
Don't forget.
Wow.
Why did that turn you on? I got a picture of that.
You're the one who said you got up and
Okay.
you're projecting, Dad. You're projecting your actions onto me. That was you.
I was gonna call Carl and tell him to bring it out.
Go ahead.
Okay, next question.
Well, that was it. I mean, we're just talking.
You gonna waste some film or leave it go?
There's no wasting.
Okay.
This isn't a waste. Is this a waste sitting here talking with
Oh,
yourself?
this is a lot of fun for a change. I'm enjoying it.
All right.
But the pain, right?
The pain, right? I know.
You might be.
Could you give it all away to everyone else? Your other kids.
I gotta give to everybody. Them,
You
you,
can give to me.
the other one, everybody. Everybody. For me.
Oh.
If I would have knew this,
Who's
you wouldn't
been
be
saying
born.
poor me this? Wait, say that again?
If I would have known all these downfalls, none of these would have been
Yeah,
there.
that's right, because you did in a
I was
joking
told, I
manner.
didn't listen. I
You
was
did
told.
on my 39th birthday. You introduced me to the people at the restaurant there as your oldest the mistake. I'm joking, of course, right, Dad? Yeah.
Yeah, we were all mistakes. My dad told me I was a mistake.
And you were just
My mouth
passing it on?
denies it. Yeah, I just passed it down. It's psychic stuff, you know. Yeah,
It's not
you know,
psychic stuff.
In,
See, now?
in the house, somewhere is that big old picture frame with like 30 or 40 pictures in it. Can you bring that out to me with me standing
He's
with
calling
my half
his-
brother? Can you bring that out here to the porch?
He's
Have
calling
Carl bring it out here?
his
I want to show him DJ a picture. You know,
stepson
it's got
in the
us all on
house
the picture, Grandma.
to bring
everything.
something out.
Okay? All right. Okay, we're waiting. Thank you. She's going to bring it.
Oh,
My wife's going to
your
my sweetheart.
Oh, so it wasn't
Your stepmother is going to bring it.
my stepmother, who's a year younger than me.
Well, I had a stepmother too.
I don't view her as a stepmother, and that's okay.
Well, there's two ways of looking at this.
I look at her as your wife.
Well, when you get
She's
my
your wife.
age, it's either a nursing home or paying nurses and caregivers. So I put two and two together, and a wife would be cheaper, I thought. But now I realize it don't work that way. I could have had a nurse cheaper, and I could have did what I wanted with a nurse, because she wouldn't have told me what to do. But I made the decision of getting married, someone to take care of me, instead of paying elsewhere. Okay, so that's what I did. Everybody needs somebody, and that was my decision. It wasn't a love. It was not a love. It was I needed somebody. And here's that somebody.
Oh, here's
that somebody I was talking about.
She's like, I don't want to be a. All right. Here,
No,
let me
come on
just.
out. You could
She
come
doesn't
out.
want to, Dad. Let
There's
her.
another one.
Oh, well, yeah. I have this.
Okay. All right.
This was Thanksgiving
Okay.
of 2003. This is just at Grandma's.
Okay, so there we are. Okay,
Right.
you're gonna put that one down. Don't break it. It's very valuable. If someone opens the screen door, they're
I
gonna
know.
knock it
So,
down.
all right, it's down.
Okay. Now here's me. There's a garage there I rented with my motorcycle in there and my car's in there. Okay, here's me holding you.
DJ, you want some water?
No, thank you.
Here's me holding you.
Ooh,
I'll take one.
coffee.
Mitos, get us both a coffee. Here's my cup. Here.
Oh,
Here,
never mind.
Yeah, get him one. Here.
I don't want. There's
got all
no
different
cream.
kinds.
There's no cream. There's no cream. It's
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, though.
Throw that one out and make me another, please, please. Appreciate it. All right, anyway, this is a very valuable picture.
Okay.
That's my car standing there, and some antique.
Oh, and look, there's my head right there cut off. That's me and you. You
Oh, I
hold
didn't,
my
I didn't
hand.
take the picture.
No, but who put this in
Blame the
here?
person that took the
I'm not
picture.
blaming. Who put this in here?
Well, you were probably cut off in the picture.
No, I'm not. I have this
Well,
photo.
if you look at the back of this, the whole picture's probably back there.
Okay, go anyway.
It's probably not a circle.
Just tell me.
Okay, there's a garage I rented. Okay, here you are with your lazy eye. Here's me and Charity. Here's me and Randy's sister. Here's me holding you. Here's me
That's
and my
not me.
sister. Yes,
That
it is.
me?
Yes, that is you. Hey, look at the long hair and the mustache.
I think that's
Look
Charity.
look at no mustache. No,
You had
that's
a mustache with
Yeah,
Charity
no,
too,
no,
Dad.
no,
All right.
no.
I have
No,
photos.
Look how old she is.
I know.
Okay, anyway, that's cousin Sue. Here's your mom sitting on next
Okay.
door.
This
Here's
isn't
me,
what you
Jenny, and
showed.
Charity.
Yeah.
Okay, you,
Show me the
you.
photo that you
Here's
were
the dog,
originally showing
and
me.
then this dog. Here's, you know.
I know.
All right, here's Alan, his wife, me, and there's the marijuana plants. We're on the top mountain. All this back here is that you're looking at.
Okay, so this photo, you're holding up a beer can? Probably, right? That looks like a beer can. Or is it a bong?
I don't know what it is. But I looked fat in that picture when I wasn't really fat. But anyway, that's marijuana. And this is the property I wanted to buy above theirs on a mountain. See the clay
Right.
and all
Now,
this.
did you smoke this day?
No. But everything back here is what you're looking at right there.
Yeah.
Then we just decided to pick that for a picture. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that is which is legal to this day. Now it's legal.
Well,
Medical.
somewhat,
Medical.
yeah. Somewhat.
Okay, so that's the picture that I told you we had.
Mm-hmm.
And he cheated me when I was out there, so I never came back. I left him. I never came
How
back.
did he cheat you?
I bought a car and he was supposed to drive it home for me. And he decided to make it a later date, not the same date that we planned. So to trick me to where he could keep the car and not bring it and tell me it broke down later on so he could keep it because I said I'm not coming to get it. I ain't got time to come and get it. Leave it. That's what I told him. So I never went back again. That was it. It was a lost cause. Gone. Don't take a picture of that one.
Why?
But that is you. Because I looked nasty back in them days. That is
I
you.
don't believe that's me.
Yes, it
I believe
is.
it's Charity.
No, that's you.
You know how we can find out? I bet it's written on the back of the photo.
Yeah, that's you. I guarantee you that's you. I can tell by the shirt. I can tell by the shirt.
Hold on. No.
Yeah, you'd have to take the whole back off to see.
No.
Okay, take the whole
Is she
back.
coming back out?
Yeah, with my coffee. Let me give you the pictures to take back. You see my pictures from the Philippines, didn't you?
Yes. I don't need to see them again.
And they're all pictures.
Because I've seen them. When was the last time you saw pictures of my house and my life?
Okay. Let me
Let
see.
I don't have them.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
then I bet. Wait,
Not
I have
my
them on
fault.
my phone.
Not my fault.
I have them on my phone,
Okay.
so I could show
Let's
you.
see 'em. They're also on Facebook and
Coffee
emails.
delivery.
Coffee.
Come on, bring it out. Come on, Carl. Take the pictures back in. Please don't break them. There's two of them.
Please don't
drop
break them.
They're very important.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I'm gonna shut the.
You don't want to be on a video, Carl?
No, I'm okay.
He's okay. All right, that's it. Say goodbye.
Bye again.